guys are live.
Gross. Yeah.
You're listening to Inside Real Estate, your source for all things mortgage and real estate related. The show that brings you all the hottest topics and insights directly from those who know it most. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Sit back, grab a cold one, enjoy the show. What is up, everyone? Paul Apostolakis, Brad Weisgerber, Salvatore Cusmano. We are Inside Real Estate, and we are here today with Mr. Ryan Lane with Max Broock. Detroit is where you're at today. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you, man?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Today's show is brought to you by Nick Vagnetti, who we were on a golf trip this weekend. He lost the Ryder Cup for our team. Also was the lowest money winner and got what we call the poop jacket. So we really appreciate you doing that for us, Nick Vagnetti. He also is a loan officer, so he'll probably never listen to this, but we appreciate you. Today I want to talk to Ryan. Ryan was on our old show from a previous iteration. And so I'm excited to have you back. I want to kind of talk about kind of your mentality on how you handle your business, what you think about growth, and how you tackle your day-to-day. I think that's important. I think you do a good job with that and kind of your mindset. I also want to play a little game where we fantasize about what if some parts of the purchase or mortgage or real estate transaction were replaced by automation completely. Like what if we remove the appraisal completely? What are some consequences that we would see from that? What if we replace the realtor completely? What would be some consequences we'd see from that? Because a lot of people are talking about doing that. And so I kind of want to I think it'll highlight kind of the importance of what having a proficient professional do that means to the transaction. So first and foremost, Ryan, give us your background. Tell us real quick. I know you've been on the show before, but tell us real quick how you got into real estate and kind of what drew you into it.
All right, the real quick version. I was working with a company. It must have been 4.5 years ago now. Yeah, I was working with a company for 3 years in like the warehouse, like Gordon Food Service.
Yeah.
So I was working nights, like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Damn.
We were responsible for making sure the product, the right orders got sent down to the shipping lane so they can get packed on the truck.
Logistics.
Yeah, logistics. Yeah, it was a crazy job. Anyway, I was making some pretty good money at the age I was at, and I was like, I want to start investing in real estate now. So I was like, well, maybe I'll go take a real estate course, get my license. I don't have to deal with any agents because my schedule is so weird as it is, and I can just go look at houses on my own time.
Oh, so you got your license out of like convenience. You're like, screw it, I could just do it on my own.
I just wanted to invest, man, because I was
How old were you?
That time I was probably 19.
Wow.
No, when I got my license, I think I was 20, just about to turn 21.
Young guy.
Yeah,
making some
super
money.
young.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
I've always been an entrepreneur growing up, dude. Like I was 8 years old. I had dog walking businesses, lawn companies. When I was 12, 13, I was, biking 3 miles each way to get to work, make some money. I was always hustling,
Yeah.
And so at this point, I was like, okay, I got some money. I only have this old truck that I paid for and this apartment. I want to start investing in it. So that's why I got my license. And then while I was getting my license, I was like, you know what? I think I just want to sell real estate now. I love sales. I love business. Being in that environment that I was working in was not natural for me. I just went there originally for the paycheck.
The cash flow.
Yeah. And I actually got that job originally because a buddy of mine in Florida, him and I were going to start a trucking company or a transportation business, and I wanted to save up money to do that, but I got caught up in the corporate, management stuff. I was trying to get into a management role. Anyway, got my license, decided I wanted to start selling real estate, and then my first year, I sold like 2 houses,
Yeah.
and it was like under $350,000 in business that I did for that
Total.
first year.
Yeah.
And it turns out that I was actually working with like 2 or 3 other real estate agents working this industrious job at night and selling real estate in the day. And they were actually doing really good at it. They had 2 full-time incomes coming in. And so they convinced me to just go full-time. And so the next year, with only 2 house sales under my belt, decided to take a leap of faith and go full-time in it, and then just took off from there. So that's where I'm at today. Just been selling real estate and continuing to, try and put money in certain investments, stuff like that, and continue my real estate investing portion. But
we see that a lot, dude. We see a lot of people that try to do it part-time, and the part-time, dude, it's not a part-time job.
No, dude, it's not. And I tell people that.
It's not. It's a full-time job, and if you really want to do it, right, you can pick up some deals and do them here and there, and have it as like a hobby. But you're never gonna be proficient in that.
You might get lucky and do 1 deal a month.
Maybe,
know?
Yeah. Well, this is
If you
the
have a
thing.
really
that'd
good
be-
sphere or
that'd be
something like
really
that, or
lucky.
you used to do it a long time ago and now you're part time. But to have a full time income, like you can't work part time.
You can't, but if you're somebody, I would tell somebody like if they're dying to get into real estate and they want to make it their full time job, I wouldn't say. I mean, what I did was pretty ballsy, right? I mean, just quitting. Dude, I was making good money for my age, and even for most adult standards, I was making good money.
Yeah.
And I was like, to quit that and just go full time in something. I mean, that was a risk. It was a huge risk, but it was a risk I was willing to take. But if you're not in a position to do that, it is great that you can start part time and just really, bust your ass. You're going to be on 2 full-time schedules, is
Basically,
what I would
yeah.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're not going to get much sleep at all. But if you want it bad enough, you can definitely start part-time and achieve that. But yeah, if you're just doing it to do it as part-time, like a hobby, like you said, then you can tell who those people are, and they won't do nearly as much business. But I guess those people don't really care either. I don't know.
You know, yeah. So you went from 2 houses, dude, and then you're like, I'm gonna do this full time. So what did you change? I mean,
Well, it was
how
just
did you get into it?
it was just like I could put 100% of my attention on my business instead of like, hey, I've got 4 hours today before I have to go back into work and get that done. And so I had a full day now where I can focus on my business. And not only that, but I put myself in a corner, right? Like put my
You
back
had it,
against the
yeah,
wall. I was like,
yeah.
yo, I have to make this work. I really went, really took a chance on myself, and I got to prove myself now. So yeah, dude, I think the second year I did a couple $1 million in sales, and then after that it just kept going up and up. And yeah, it was. I forgot what your original question was. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right, dude. So how did you grow your business? You know what I mean? Like, so what,
yeah.
what was your strategy?
Yeah,
Like,
dude. So this is a thing that I do a little bit differently than I think some agents that I know. I started in the business with no connections. I didn't grow up with,
No network.
family ties, zero network. None of my friends are buying houses by any means. We were
Right.
20, 21 years old.
Right.
I just didn't think that way growing up. Like, hey, I should make some good connections in case I do something in the future that
Network was not important, right?
No,
Yeah, you
it
just
should have been though,
yeah.
but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I remember I was sitting in my manager's office, and she's like, "All right, this is it." She gave me a big old packet of stuff, and it's like, "All right, welcome to real estate."
Yeah.
It's like, cool. Now
Here's
what do
the
I
phone.
do?
Yeah, here's the phone. Go call some people.
Dude, yeah, it's what it was. And so there's an old saying like, here's your desk, here's your phone, you're on your own. And that's kind of what it was, man. I didn't have like, okay, now I can tap into my, my in-laws and see what they're up to and see if they're ready to buy or whatever. It was just like, okay, I'm going to start going through my cell phone. I'm going to start knocking on doors. I'm going to do everything I can. It was 100% prospecting.
Yeah.
And I learned that from some multi-level marketing stuff I did back in high school.
Yeah.
So I was just like, dude, I have no connections, so I just have to make deals work and make deals happen. So that's what I would do, man. I would just call people. I would cold call people. I'd send out mailers. I'd knock on doors. I mean, just do as much face-to-face. It was real estate 24/7. It still is, but like if we were standing in line at Starbucks, I was going to talk to you about real estate,
Yeah,
So
you're trying to build your
I was
network.
hungry,
right?
man. Yeah.
So I think people underestimate. There's a lot of ways you can do this business. People buy leads.
yeah.
There's a lot of different ways you can do this business. I think one of the most effective and long lasting ways is creating a really strong network. So
100%.
You've focused on that.
Yeah. What I will say that was differently in the beginning is I was going more for just deals, and I wasn't really focused on the relationship now at this point because
Yeah.
my business has since changed because
It evolves.
It evolves.
Yeah.
I 100% on the network, man. It's a huge difference if you just focus on the network, focus on your sphere of influence.
Yeah.
Versus just, hey, I need a deal. Like people can tell.
Transactions versus relationships, right?
100%.
And we talk about this with our loan office. I think what's funny? Like anybody in any industry can really benefit from a network. If you have a really strong group of people around you, like things happen, right? Like I didn't know the power of that because I was transactional. I did, I was at Quicken, I did leads. I actually prided myself on the fact that I didn't need to ask anybody for business. I could find my own, right?
Right.
But it's so stupid because ultimately, like having a great network and providing value to your network and being looked at as a professional in your network is super powerful.
Well, it's a business, right?
Yeah.
And you don't like grow a business by having someone come once, right? Or not telling like their friend. Have someone.
We all laugh. What business are we talking about? Dude?
Anyone, if you
Jessica's
think about it
like,
a little further,
That business is going out of business.
But you're going out of business. Yeah, but they got to tell their friends they want to come back. They want to do whatever it is again.
You want to do other
Yeah.
stuff?
But yeah,
Sal's Sal had a lot of gummy bears last night or something. So how did you? So talk to it. I'm a young agent, right? I don't have anybody. I don't have many friends. People don't really like me.
Yeah, sounds like me, man.
Yeah. How do I start creating a network? Like, where do I even start?
Dude, so, and I'm not going to pretend, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I'm the best at what I do by any means.
right.
You know, like, I still have a lot of room to grow.
For sure.
But yeah, man, I mean, as far as starting out, if you had no network, you needed to get one. Dude, just start putting your hand out there. Like, do some of these networking groups. What I have done this year, actually, is instead of me going to find people, I was like, I'm going to bring everybody to me. So I've actually hosted several functions. You guys saw the other night that I do a monthly meetup. Actually, after the first meeting where I said, hey, I want all these like-minded individuals to meet, after the first month, did a deal with one of the guys. But I mean, just the relationships I built with the guys in that group and the people who they know is just insane. I did a charity event earlier in the year. Excuse me. A charity event earlier in the year, and invited everybody. I mean, that was a great turnout. Got to meet a bunch of people there, and people got to know who I was because I'm the person putting the event on. So I mean, just putting yourself out there. This is one girl in our office, Avery. She does a fantastic job at this. It seems like every time I meet somebody new, like, oh, they met her like over coffee or whatever. But yeah, man, I would just go in your phone book or in your phone and reach out to people who you have some sort of relationship with or you need to catch up with, do coffees, lunches, any excuse to get out in front of clients, hang out with them or previous clients or friends, do it. It can always be, potential deal.
I tell my guys this all the time. Like, they're always like, well, what should I do? I'm like, dude, you should just go meet with people.
Yeah,
Well,
100%.
especially, like, oh, fuck, I haven't called that person in 3-4 months.
Right.
Like, they probably don't even want to be my friend or whatever anymore. And then you call them, you
Yeah.
talk, you catch up, and then, like, somehow, some way, like, the stars aligned where the next day they're like, hey, man, I got a referral for you.
And a lot of people think
and it's like, oh, okay.
And a lot of people think it's like kind of
That's weird how that
sleazy, like,
works.
oh, I got to go there and sell them. No, dude, just hang out with them.
Dude, 100%.
Dude, hang out with them. Get to know. Like, it doesn't even have to be about business. Like, how's life? How's everything go? You just made another connection, and realistically, feels good.
Yeah, 100, dude. So I used to be 100% into that. It was, like I said, it was strictly deal. I wanted a deal. So if I met with you at one point, I was like, how can I get these guys to talk real
Try
estate?
to close,
Dude,
right?
at this point in my business, it's so much more effective if you just give a shit about the other person and you genuinely want to see them hang out. Because I still make those phone calls to people who are like, yeah, we haven't talked in couple years. It can even be a past client or something. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going after a referral or a lead right now. I just want to see how they're doing.
See how they're doing, yeah.
Dude, I was texting a client yesterday who we did a deal like 3 years ago. Haven't really talked since then. She's very busy. And we were just texting and like I was just asking her about her travels and stuff. And like we've had like a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Dude, I think if you just stop focusing on the deal and actually
relationships.
Yeah, man.
Real relationships.
Yeah, exactly. Just get to know the other person.
And I think that people think, like, in our business, for example, as a loan officer, if I see, like, another agent who's, let's say we used to do deals and now they don't, right? Like, they're working with another loan officer, like, people get mad, right, or jaded or whatever. Like, I don't want to talk to them again. But it's funny, like, as you do that, you can, like, there's no burnt bridge.
Yeah,
right? There's no reason to burn a bridge. That person might leave that office and work with you again, but regardless, why would you not want to have another friend?
There's even some transactions where I look at the name and I'm like, should I call this guy? Because it was a stressful situation. I don't know if they were 100% happy because maybe there's a bump at the end of the transaction. Something happened. And I'm like, but I end up reaching out to them, and dude, they're fine. They're happy. Yeah. They're in the house. They just remember all the good stuff. They kind of the pain that they had to go through. Maybe they need an extra pay stub, whatever it was. They kind of forget about that. And they're like, hey man, what's going on? Everybody just. If you just are a good human, like good things will happen to you, I think.
Right. And it's actually, if you don't know what to talk to that person about, that would be a great one. You've given it plenty of time for the dust to settle. Yeah. And if you are curious, if there's something you could have done better, you can just call them back, hey man, I know you might, if they were a little pissed off still, you say, look, I'm just calling because I want to make sure that doesn't happen again. What are some things I could have improved on? Get some feedback,
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a good one. And then they'll feel better about it because you give a shit about their opinion, and then you might just talk regular topics after that.
Real estate is as much a people business as it is a home business, right?
Yeah,
it's more like, again, relationships, getting to know people. So anybody out there that's like trying to figure out how to start off the business, there's a lot of ways you can go out.
A million ways.
There's a million ways to do the business. But again, if you really want to have longevity, in my opinion, create a really good network. And you can create that network even if you're like transactional. Through the transactions, you can create a network. You know what I mean? There's always something. What?
Yep.
Brad, are you on the show? You haven't talked
Yeah,
about
no.
it.
I
Okay,
just-
welcome to the show, bud.
I mean, I haven't had a
Everybody-
chance to speak. You
Brad
guys are just
Weisgerber.
fucking talking like crazy, other than Sal's coming comment.
man.
Do you guys know any super introverted agents? I don't know any.
I am
was
one
thinking
right
about
now. Are you looking at one, dude?
it. You are
Yeah.
not super introverted,
Dude, I would maybe not so much anymore, but like naturally, I'm an introvert, man. Like I really don't want to go talk to people a lot of times,
Right.
but I think once you force yourself in that situation, which if you're a
Practice.
new agent, you will have to do.
Yeah.
You learn like, hey, you know what, this isn't so bad, or I really do enjoy talking with people, and
Yeah.
I think you can be both, man. I mean, there's people who really do have a hard time, but the first step is to put yourself in that uncomfortable situation and just force yourself to talk to people. And then over time and practice, you realize it's not so bad.
I was so introverted as a kid. I wouldn't even call my friends to hang out because I didn't want to. Like have their parents answer. I wouldn't order pizza. Like that was really weird. I wouldn't order pizza because I didn't want to like talk to the person on the other line. It was very odd. I was very, very introverted, but it took a lot of work. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I can't live my life.
You're one of the most social people I know, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
I
you
know.
can go from one end to the other.
It takes practice.
It
Like you
does.
just have to force yourself to do things that are scary.
Yeah, you
I
have
feel
to
like-
want what's on the other side of that. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I have to become more extroverted because, and if the goal is bigger than the crap in the middle, then you'll do
I
it.
remember being introverted so much that I was like, I got so sick of it. I lost my mind. Like I was like, I'm never gonna be like this again.
You're still introverted a bit.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am, totally.
You need to go in like a dark corner to decompress sometimes, and that's like,
Yeah, if I'm like upset or something, I don't want I'm very odd. I'm a weirdo. Yeah.
That's what
I
introverts
feel like
do.
I know introverted agents who
Yeah?
just don't fucking respond to texts or calls or things like it's like, dude,
Right.
we're doing a deal.
Right.
Like you gotta let me like answer your phone. They're like, oh, sorry, man, was busy.
I think that's just bad business, not introversion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
No,
I want
I
to
know.
go a little off topic because of the type of season it is. Do you find any challenges or difficulties with Halloween coming up, trying to show homes that are decorated for Halloween, or you tell your sellers not to decorate? How does that work with this type of year?
No,
time
I
of
think honestly, seasons are pretty fun. Like the holidays and stuff, especially if I have a listing and it's a nice home, it looks good and it's clean. Like I'll encourage them to decorate a little bit, not too much, but make it feel like home. Because
yeah.
people who are gonna buy that house,
envision.
like if they can walk into a house and be like, oh yeah, I mean this is like whether it's Halloween or Christmas, Thanksgiving,
see
if
it.
it feels like a home and they walk in, that's a huge. I mean that's what I want to accomplish.
Yeah, think about if you're a family and it's Christmas and you walk in and the place looks like nice. You know
Christmas
what I mean?
for sure. I
yeah.
feel like
Yeah, that's a
Halloween
big
though, I'd
one.
be like, dude, I'm not doing this.
You can make it
Sell
really cute though. You
That's
can
like
make
putting
it,
a full tank of gas in a car you're trading
list
in.
my home for sale and put a graveyard in the front
It
yard.
depends what it is, but yeah, I mean, if it's tastefully, I mean, look, anything can
Christmas
be
for
bad.
sure.
Christmas for sure. If you come and go out to the
Thanksgiving,
house,
yeah.
yeah, it's cool. No, I personally like Halloween. I'm gonna put up a lot of
Halloween's my
Yeah,
favorite.
it's my jam. I'm gonna put up like a lot of stuff this year.
Yeah. Now, if they were putting a whole bunch of crap in the front yard, the blow up stuff and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, look, you guys can have it. Maybe we'll just wait until after the show. I don't know. I mean,
blow up stuff.
yeah, dude, like if it's super tacky, it's going to take away from the curb appeal, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just
Bring a
depends
little
on how
razor knife.
motivated. Yeah. Just depends how motivated they are. And if they got kids and stuff, and they really want to do it, then yeah, I'll let them do whatever they want. But if I could avoid that, I certainly would. But you can make it just in fall in general, dude. You can like have some mums out, some pumpkin, like some real fashionable looking, stuff that goes
Dude.
with the season.
a little off topic, but how big of assholes are kids?
What do you
know,
wait,
like-
Kids are the biggest
Kids are
assholes.
assholes. but
Like
why?
They're the
I'm
worst
just like
humans in
I'm
the
just
world,
thinking of those
but they don't
blow
know
up
any better.
things, and I remember like
You were the kid
kids.
that went around and cut them
someone
up.
just
Someone
just slice
Not
them.
gonna
You
say.
know, they'd have to get sewed up, or
We used to
you'd
do
see a
some
big fat stripe of duct tape across the snowman's.
Not gonna mention any
chest.
names. Give you his initials.
We were assholes.
Sal
We used to
Cusmano.
drive around the neighborhood and rip down like Christmas decorations.
Dude,
And
yeah.
now you put them up, and
Yeah, if someone
like
did that
if
to
someone
me,
did it, you'd flip out.
I'd flip
You
out.
go in your dark corner.
We used to TP houses. We used to give like lawn jobs. We were like,
Lawn jobs?
yeah,
Yeah.
You
Is that
dri-
where you whip a shitty in the lawn?
Yeah,
With the- yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I grew up in
pretty
Milford. We
bad.
did all that same stuff, man. Like, it's a good old boy thing to do,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, you just look back and you're like, I was such a dick.
I was such a shitty kid,
Yeah.
dude.
So like you're
Yeah.
like someone's biggest investment, right?
Yeah.
Their house. Like,
Yo, I know.
ripping
But
an F-150 like
Yeah.
across the grass, pegged out on the
you know what though? Like,
tack.
like
People can't do that at my house. I got ditches.
oh no, wait.
Okay.
No, I actually have a friend. I'm not gonna get the story, but yeah, he messed up somebody's front yard with the ditch and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he thought he was in the street, went right into the ditch.
Oh no way. That's awesome.
There's still tire
I
marks
mean,
and
it's
everything.
insane.
Yeah, we did some bad
Smashing
things.
pumpkins on.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
a big
yeah,
one. That was a real
man.
big one.
Good band.
But if it happens to you, you can't be that upset because I immediately think back to like, yeah, you know what? I did the same thing. I had this
it is
coming.
karma.
I had it coming.
Something happened.
You
I
can
was-
still be upset.
Anytime I
Yeah.
put a pumpkin on my porch, in Royal Oak, that's like a squirrel. There's like a secret squirrel city.
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
there's
Oh,
millions of squirrels, all different like
Yeah.
colors, shapes, sizes. Like they're
Different levels
all
of
they do is
sneakiness.
fuck up everything in my house.
Really?
Yeah, dude, they fuck up everything.
I was in.
I'm like, well, I guess that's what I get. You
Dude,
know?
I was in
that's
Myrtle
what I get.
Beach.
My lawn is shit. All my ornaments are all crushed and fucked up.
So I was in Myrtle Beach, and there was these things. They look like lemurs, dude. They're called squirrel monkeys,
Yeah.
dude. They,
Squirrel monkeys?
bro, it was the craziest thing. They sit up on their legs and they look at you, and they got little hands. It was weird, dude. You look them up. We were like freaking
Yeah,
out.
it
We're like,
would
what is
be-
that? Yeah, it looked like a lemur. Anyways,
Interesting.
yeah. So let's get into these hypotheticals that I wanted to talk about. The show completely off the rails.
Yes.
It's all
quality.
good, man.
So I was listening to this other podcast on the way into the show, and they were talking about appraisals and how they're like trying to get rid of appraisals, and I started thinking, I go, what if there were no appraisals, no valuation at all? You could pay whatever you wanted on a house.
So
What would be the consequences?
terrible.
I just did a loan for a Canadian citizen, right?
Yeah.
Who's working over here, and he goes, man, like, so in Canada, when you go get a mortgage, you go to the bank. There's no points or anything like that. Like, you go to one bank, you go to another bank, you maybe look at a third, and like, their rate is the rate.
Yeah.
You know, like that is what it is.
Yeah.
So
But not as privatized
that's super
as we
easy.
are.
But
Yeah.
then he's like, well, what about this appraisal? What if it comes in like super low? So apparently there, it's just like, well, whatever. You
Yeah.
know, they raise your rate or something like that. Like, it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm
was like,
saying. So
Interesting.
I was like, well, then when you renegotiate or you don't buy the house, he's like, really?
yeah. So if we got
It's
rid,
like buying a car over there, right? It doesn't really matter.
I don't know the rules specifically. I don't know if that's the case, but I guess in my mind, it's like in the States, if we got rid of appraisals, like nothing, like no valuation whatsoever, and you can.
Terrible.
So tell me why you think it'd be terrible.
It'd be terrible for multiple reasons, because I feel like it would be a little bit of the wild, wild west where values would keep going up. People would pay more and more for a house that isn't worth it, right? And on top of that, you're going to have this artificially inflated home, which is going to create the mortgage-backed securities aren't going to be worth what they are, which is a huge.
That's the technical
worldwide-
side, yeah, for sure.
It's a
yeah.
huge worldwide driver of the worldwide economy, and
Right.
it just wouldn't be good at all.
For me, it's like
And as a buyer, you're going to have something that you're going to pay a shitload of money
Well,
for
that's
something
why,
that's not worth it.
mortgage-backed securities, I feel like, are worth something because they're backed by collateral that's
Exactly.
worth something.
It's worth
right?
it.
It's worth something.
It's like saying like the U.S. dollar like would actually be backed by
Silver,
a gold,
yeah,
right?
like gold standard, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Back when there was a gold standard.
Right. So I mean, imagine like, so you put your house up for sale, and it's it's a really hot market. And when we saw this, houses were getting bid up, and people were doing appraisal guarantees where they pay over appraised value. Right. That's a little bit different because at least there's an appraisal. In this situation, there'd be, in my opinion, there'd be rampant inflation in housing
Yeah, it
prices.
would.
100%.
When there's demand like that, I mean, there'd be no governor. Like I feel like appraisals actually govern and control that inflated value situation a
Right.
great deal. So we're kind of getting to a point where there's a lot of talk about replacing the appraisal process and doing this and that. I think it's crazy.
Replacing it's different than getting rid of it. Right? You can replace it with something else that is arguably better or arguably worse, but
Well-
there's got to be another process. You can't just eliminate it.
I mean,
you can replace
the
it.
amount of data being put into like
Exactly.
collateral underwriter, for example.
That's where it's going to go.
Yeah, eventually, I think so to a degree, and maybe desk appraisers,
Yeah.
things of that sort.
Yeah.
Maybe a quick desk appraisal versus like an actual field inspection, or something of that sort.
Yeah.
But
Quick note: Ali Berry just texted me. He's trying to recruit you. Just so you know, on air.
Is he or she going to be pissed off? I don't know who that is.
Quest Reels. Yeah.
Yo,
yeah. I think apparently he wants him. So,
hey man, I appreciate that.
yeah, that's nice. He must like how you're dressed. So,
Yeah, dude, I'm actually dressed way down today. Number one, I fell asleep last night before I could set my alarm, so I woke up late. But at the same time, I was planning to do work at the house anyway. So
yeah, that's all right.
I got some construction
So,
to do.
what were you gonna say? We're gonna talk.
Before you could set your alarm, can't you? Like you can set alarms.
Are you
to
gonna
go
try-
off
are you
every
coaching
day.
him on
I mean,
how to
yeah,
do
it's
his
great.
alarm,
We'll talk
dude?
after.
No, I know.
Don't worry about
I'm a
it. dude.
shitty
you know
person.
what? There are two, and don't take this the wrong way, but there definitely are two types of people, right? The people who use the sleep app, if you have a iPhone, so
Yeah.
There's a sleep app, and every day it's recurring, right? And every day it wakes you up at the same time. It tracks your sleep or whatever. And then there's the people like my girlfriend who has the alarm set and just keeps hitting snooze or whatever. And I'm like,
That's me. That's
Has
me.
8 different alarms set every
There's-
3-minute
there's-
increments
you know,
and snoozes them
I
all.
have 20, bro. Like one every half hour. Yeah.
There's also a third group, people with kids that don't have a choice.
that's true. That's
There's-
true.
there's
But
also
I'm just
that
like,
third group.
what the hell is wrong
You
with
got
you?
no choice.
Turn your fucking alarm off.
Yeah, the snooze
Turn it
fest,
off.
The snooze, can snooze. Yeah,
Yeah, turn it off. Like I'm.
It's
feel
like the most obnoxious
Let's say like
thing.
she has to wake up early, which doesn't happen. I'm always up before, but you know, I'm laying in bed and the thing just every 10 minutes, meh, and it's in the bathroom with her while she's
I'm
taking
having
a
a
shower.
vision.
I'm like,
I'm having a vision of Sal stomping the living shit out of his phone.
Yo, yeah. Dude,
it's all right.
Dude, when I was traveling, the whole second week I was in Europe, I kind of decided to do hostels. I'm not familiar with them at all at the time. I ended up loving
Hostels
them.
are tough.
Dude, I actually I
seen the
really
movie?
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You've
I've
seen the movie?
I know. Dude, I seen the movie, but like, so I was like, well, it's cheap enough. If I don't like it, I can go get a hotel later. But I was doing a solo trip to Europe. I was like, this is a great way to meet people. Anyway, dude, like we're in like, I mean, gosh, Amsterdam, London, Barcelona. I mean, these are all big party cities, and so like, especially in Barcelona, dude, we wouldn't get home till I don't know 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah, you don't even go out till midnight. Right?
No, yeah, you don't go. Yeah, exactly. And
People are out at like
Wild.
2 a.m. eating ham.
Dude, you
at the
eat
restaurant.
dinner
It's
at like 10 p.m.
Yeah,
That's
bro,
crazy.
there
Normally.
was famous as a kid, like infant kids out walking the streets at like 2, 3 a.m. Like,
Totally
what the hell
normal.
are you doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, so like I'd have normal people in my room, and then I would go there. I'd get back at like 6 a.m. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna set the alarm for like 3 hours from now because I need to go see some shit tomorrow. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, I would not wake up to that, but the whole room would wake up to my phone just going off, and eventually
Yeah.
like somebody would get out and like punch me in the foot. I was like, oh god, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because the same thing,
Man.
it just goes off and off. And
Yeah,
off.
it's like,
Yeah, it's
dude,
super annoying.
hostels are interesting.
I used to be one of those
You know,
guys.
it can be fun, and you meet some people, and it's not so bad. And sometimes they're just straight dumps with weird people in them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. But that's the thing.
I had some guy tell me like kill people.
So
It's
yeah,
like, yeah,
I'm not, if somebody told me that, I'd be out of there, dude.
yeah.
But the thing
we
is,
were like, well, we're here, so
So-
we're all chilling.
Wanna get a beer, dude?
yeah, dude. Well, so
He
I'm the
got
person.
violently drunk and threw up all over the floor.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's actually
yeah.
really
We were
bad.
like, all right, dude.
Dude, I'm the type of person who will spend extra money on a flight or a hotel because I want to make sure my stay is
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So that's what I was kind of like taking a risk on these things. But dude, with like the websites and all the reviews and stuff, you
Yeah.
can easily pick out like which
Yeah.
are clearly the nice because everybody's about reviews
Well,
now.
There's some really nice
It's a
hostels.
good way
yeah.
to stay in and meet people if you're going to like a foreign land.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, traveling is just, so. How much time do you spend in Europe?
I only spent 2 weeks. It was my first time there.
Only
Sweet.
spent 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No.
So it's
Dude,
I wish I
everybody
could
there-
spend 2 days in Europe.
So for those of people that haven't been to Europe or out of the states, I really like. I think it's like one of the best experiences you can have.
I'm gonna go every year now.
Yeah,
I would love
Yeah.
to go to Europe.
Dude, it's honestly, bro, and I did it differently than going with the family or doing the hotels and stuff. But I was just like, I packed a backpack, and
Did you
once
put a Canada flag on it or American flag?
I didn't have any flags on it. Yeah, I just kept it low key. I didn't want to
Yeah.
start any shit with
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
I had a whole bunch of people asking me about Trump and all that stuff the whole time I was over there, and I got a whole bunch of shit for being from Detroit, dude. It was crazy. I had to talk it up so bad, man. Like
The
everybody
only
was-
thing
know
that
what?
when I was a kid growing up, I'd go to Greece. My cousins would be like, "Oh, Detroit techno."
Yeah, dude, everybody loves Detroit techno.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
I would talk about that because I'm into that music and stuff. But it was interesting.
That's awesome. So
But once you get over there, what I was gonna say is once you get over there, it's actually fairly cheap. If you want to fly around, take a train, if you want to do the hostel life, I mean, I spent very little money over there and I had a blast.
yeah,
You know what's interesting though, if we think about like what we do, right, and how, not that you couldn't get a job elsewhere, right, but it's not like we have like engineering skills, right? Like
I do.
in Europe, no, okay,
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
no, you don't. No, you don't.
get
Anyways,
the
go ahead.
umbrella on our roof.
Yeah.
Like our business like doesn't really exist in certain countries
It's
over
sa-
there.
but it's
most
sa-
other
but no, but
countries.
it's sales, and the sales translates everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just saying like
100%.
mortgages,
Our
or
mortgages
whatever,
don't.
right? Like
Yeah.
so that's not over there.
But here's the
And I
thing.
get there's
I agree.
sales,
I agree
but-
with that. So, but I do believe that if you are a good at sales, if you are good at, you will always be employed. Because
Yep.
no matter through recessions, through any part of the economy, sales is the one thing you will always need.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you can generate business, That's a super valuable thing. So to your point, yeah, there aren't mortgage
Of
sales.
course,
but
it's not like you go over there and starve. I'm just saying, like,
there's no more. Yeah,
Yeah.
my information that I know everything about Fannie Mae mortgages.
Right.
No, it's
is
worthless.
Worthless.
Yeah. Greece doesn't even have like.
And it's
money
kind of
like
scary
that.
because it's like some legislation, to our point earlier of like, what if X didn't
Right.
exist? Like, what if all of a sudden they're like, fuck it. We're taking over Fannie Mae, we're taking over Freddie Mac. All mortgages
Everything's
are
automated.
government.
And they're
we-
all automated.
they're all, automated or go off different criteria.
Yeah.
Have you
Right?
have you
Credit
seen
no
any,
longer-
any have you seen how our Congress works with passing
I
laws?
understand. But
And have you ever been to the
Jesus.
Secretary of State try to get your license renewed? I mean, if the government takes over, when things get,
We'll see it coming for years ahead of time.
the government's not great at running businesses.
Right.
They're really bad. Sorry,
it's
everybody.
just something
I agree.
to think about. Like, man, like what you do right now might not be there.
right.
That's
in
my
the
point.
future,
Yeah,
right? I
right.
mean, of course, like sales and positions that you could get into, but
Right.
like
But industries change,
but
and
but
They
have an
change a lot,
open
yeah.
mind too. Like, hey, this might not be forever. You have a good
that's
like,
across the
year. You're
board.
like, it's over. It's set.
Right. That's across the board, though. That's not just
I'm
us.
good.
That's anyone out there. That's why it's important going back to having a good network, because once you establish a good network and you have good relationships, if something goes sideways with what you're doing, you can fall back on the network when you start your next gig, right? People
Yep.
want to help you out. They know the struggle. So
yeah. And actually, one thing one of my mentors always says is, don't ever. It doesn't matter what industry you're in or what business you're in. Don't ever get rid of those contacts. Keep them all in your
Yeah.
CRM because
Yeah.
you never know. Things might change. You might have to hit them up later. But that brings up an interesting point. Is especially in real estate, I think everybody in the business, doesn't matter what side of business you're on, everybody's wondering if or when it's going to become automated. Like you mentioned earlier, like maybe the need for having a real estate agent might disappear, or an appraiser or whatever. People are thinking about that stuff. I don't
think we ever get rid of it personally.
No, I don't think so either. I think you need somebody there. I was just wondering the other day, like, wonder if it'll become more of a luxury or like a concierge thing.
Yes. So that's what. So think about it, right? You can book your flight now through Expedia, right? But I use a travel agent.
Okay.
Because they handle my stuff for me.
Yep.
Like we had a layover and we almost missed our flight. I called my travel agent. They handled it all.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, if you go to Europe, but you absolutely probably use Expedia or Orbitz or whatever.
If you go to
if you're
Florida.
going to Florida or
No.
you're booking,
you use a travel agent to go to Florida?
Depends. It depends what I'm doing.
What'd you do 2 weeks ago?
I went to Delta
Okay.
because it is a little bit different.
Yeah, probably more than half of your flights are done outside of your travel agent.
True.
100%.
Very true. But they still have a place and they still have value and they still do and they do very
doubt.
very well.
Next
No
summer,
doubt.
when I take
They're
my
good,
family
yeah.
to Disney, I'm probably going to use a travel agent.
You probably should.
I'm probably going to.
And you probably shouldn't go to Disney because it's horrible.
I'm taking my kids. You got to go to. It's a.
Yeah,
you
you'll
gotta
be
do
in
it. You
Disney
gotta do
very
it.
soon.
I know. I'm not doing it. I've never been to Disney myself.
Your kids are going to hate you for it when they grow up. You're welcome.
They are.
You
They're
gotta
going to
go
hate
to
me for a
Disney,
million
bro.
things.
Yeah,
They're going to add that to the list. They
That's
hate you
just-
already.
You got to go to Disney at least once.
I've never
Have
been.
to.
I've never been to
Really?
Disney. No.
If you
we
can't
gotta
go
get
to
Paul some
Europe
Mickey
because you
Mouse
don't have
ears.
time, go to Epcot.
Why would I go to Disney when I could go to Europe for the same
man.
amount of money?
Disney's
You can go to
the most
Disney
wonderful
in
place on
Europe.
earth.
Yeah, but dude, you like
True.
are from Greece or something.
But it's
like,
better than Disney.
And you're greasy.
yeah, but you're like European greasy, like small. Like, you got like
Sal,
filas on.
Your name's Salvatore Cusmano. You're Italian.
Right, I understand, but I've never
This
been to
episode went
That's,
so
uh,
sideways.
Oh, yeah.
You're
I
like
fucking love it.
you like speak Greek.
Yeah, I did.
Like-
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Greek. Yeah, that's what I am.
He said some weird shit.
Most people go to Disney, but I would rather go to Europe.
Most people go to
too.
Disney
That's what I'm
multiple
saying,
times.
right? If you
But
had to
when I
pick-
have kids, I mean that'd be a nightmare.
if you had to pick two places, let's say you like the cost roughly the same to get there, right? And we have family with homes there. So for me to fly to Disney and spend that time,
Boom, you have family with homes there.
yeah,
Done.
that's what I'm saying. Why would I
Right.
go to Disney?
You.
Me?
Yeah. You.
For your kids. Selfless, bro.
My kids will have a good time in Greece. I'll be all right.
They'll take their kids to Disney and then
Right.
they'll go. They'll
So,
go spend
so,
the night.
but going back to the point, like, so let's say we got rid of like there's so many parts of the transaction that we could get rid of, and that would I feel like would cause issues, like homeowners insurance, right? You can get a quote online and get a homeowners insurance online, but we know some people and
Go to
they
the general, save some time.
right. You can just call a number and it's automated almost, right? But having an actual good
dude.
contact is like so worth it.
Yes.
I remember I had Geico for. I mean,
Geico for that.
I always
money.
have cars, right? I always switch cars and whatnot. And it was so easy with Geico. You just plug it in, boom, generate a new. Like
Yeah.
you can do it yourself.
And
Yeah,
same thing with
sweet.
Progressive online.
So why'd you stop doing that?
Because when the flood happened here in Royal Oak, and,
Yeah.
they're like, damn,
You don't really have
that kind of
coverage.
sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
You did it yourself.
Yeah,
you didn't do the right coverage.
Well, no, it wasn't necessarily that. It was just like,
They're hard to deal with.
Yeah.
yeah, it was like, oh,
Yeah, you're on your own basically.
yeah, I lost like.
I mean, that's
7,000.
every insurance company, dude. Like they'll promise you the world, and
Yeah,
they're
if
like,
you got
oh,
a
you know,
good
it turns
agent,
out you weren't
though-
actually covered for that, man. You opted
I've
out
had
of
some
the extra
really
$100.
good experiences recently with,
Yes.
Yes.
you know, our insurance agent Isaac that we work with.
We
a
work with
lot.
him a lot, yeah, but he just does a good job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just
He did
like,
a great
dude,
job.
I have a pretty big issue. What do I do here?
Bro,
You know?
I got in a
It's-
car accident.
It's not even that.
I called him. He was the first person I called. I'm like, dude, I
Me
just
too.
rear-ended someone. He's like, all right, here's what you do. Boom, 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 boom. Done.
I didn't call like the number on the insurance card. I called Isaac. I was
Right.
like, bro, I just got in an accident. What do I do?
So there's a lot of value in that. You know what I mean? Like you lose a big piece of that. I don't.
Well, it's the steering through the waters that we don't know,
Right.
and there are some situations where a computer system is almost just as effective as a human, maybe like almost, right? But not often, you know.
Well,
like
here's the thing
maybe
with
like
things like
ordering something on
insurance,
Amazon. Like I'm not like
It's easy, right?
calling over the
Right.
phone to
Right.
like order a.
We're talking about insurance, right? So you need when you need guidance, right? Like insurance is not something you should go cheap on. You should have good coverage because it's insurance. You don't want to get in a situation where you lose your car.
But
in a
no
flood.
one would know that.
Nobody.
They'd shop the cheapest car insurance
Correct.
rate.
They
if
don't know
didn't
the
have an
Because it's
agent to
required by
explain
law
that,
to have it.
right? Like,
Correct.
listen, dude, this is going to cost you another $100 a year.
right to have this
Should
much more
X
coverage.
happen,
Right.
it saves you like thousands.
If it's an industry or something, a product or something that you don't understand, you should get professional guidance.
Oh,
period.
yeah.
Right.
Well, and going back into the real estate transaction, I mean, that's a scary process for most people.
Right.
You have your do-it-yourselfers, but even they, they get all frustrated and blame everybody else most of the time why they didn't get the best, value for their home or something
Right.
went wrong because they
Right.
tried doing it themselves. Like, it's a complicated process. It can be a complicated process.
I just thought about you often see houses that are $150,000 or $200,000 for sale by owner. You don't often see $2 million houses for sale by owner.
No, dude. And so I
You
think,
know what I mean?
I think with that though, like you're looking at different clientele, right?
Yeah.
Like the people who's got the $2 million house, like they're like, yo, even if they thought they could sell down there, they're probably way too busy to do so. And actually, it gets more complicated to market a property that expensive.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you're looking at 150, 200,000, I mean, those it doesn't matter what you do; those will sell.
Yeah.
So,
Because the market of people buying those is about a lot bigger. Right?
oh yeah, it's huge, and I mean, yeah, those are hard to keep in stock right now. They usually fly off the market, you know. But when we're in a market like that. Yeah, you see a lot more FSBOs, I guess.
I just think people. It's not about like can you do it. It's understanding how to do it properly.
Yeah,
right?
dude.
Or navigating it. Right.
Yep.
So let's say you put a sign in front of your house as a for sale by owner. Somebody wants to buy it. Now what?
Right.
Now what? Who's going to do the contract?
Yep.
Who's going to do your title? Who's going to do your more? Like you know what I mean? Like there's all these other moving
But
parts.
always in the end, when the seller statement comes out, there's always some type of issue.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Oh,
at
you mean
a
I'm paying
FSBO?
$250 draw
Yeah,
fee?
yeah.
Always.
You
Yep.
say fucking like 10 grand, dude.
Yeah.
Come
Dude,
on.
yeah, and I tell people this because I used to do a lot of cold calling. A lot of them would be, for sale by owners, and I tell them, look, I've got no doubt that you can sell your house. I mean, absolutely not. You sound like a smart guy. However, I want to make sure you're going to make the most money here, and I'm really trying to look out for you here. And let me show you what I can do and roughly what you would net. If it doesn't make business sense, don't do it. I wouldn't want you to lose money, especially
Right.
using my services.
Right.
So then I go in there and show them how we can market, get much more for their house and stuff like that. Like, hey, you're actually asking way too low. This is what you should be doing, and you can save some costs here. And so, I don't know. That always helped me out. But yeah, a lot of times, just because somebody thinks because they can do something, they're going to save a boatload of money, where they might actually be shooting themselves in the foot because they don't know all the industry specific stuff, or they don't know a couple of things that'll really help with their
There's
marketing.
so many. You have to have so much. I mean, look, good real estate agents know a lot of information and how to do things properly, right? So,
Even me, if I was thinking about selling my house, like I think I could handle a transaction,
100%.
But like,
yeah.
I wouldn't know really what to price my house at. And if let's say I put it for X, right, and you came in and said, dude, you're still gonna get that, but you get to use my service. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of these guys too. They still
Or
end up
even if
paying
it
a
was a couple
commission.
grand.
They still
Yeah.
pay-
That's what they
yeah,
want to
yeah.
avoid is a commission. Like they're like, well, if you bring me a buyer, I'll pay you the 3%. I was like, well, dude, why are you paying somebody who's not going to represent you? You got to understand, this person's representing their client, the buyer,
Correct.
and they're going to try their best to screw you over. If I was
Correct.
on the other end of that, dude, I've done FSBO deals where I'm like, dude, this guy's really going to regret not having somebody represent him.
Because you have the advantage.
Dude,
You
I'm
have
doing the
leverage.
best for my client.
Right.
He's not my client.
Right.
Well, it's so funny when
It's like not being
someone
represented in
uses
court.
like
And he's paying
one
me
of those
for it.
flat listers.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I remember when I first started, I didn't really understand it, and I like would call them. I'm like, "Hey, bud,
Sir Mac. Yeah.
the appraisal's ordered." He's like,
He's like, I don't give a shit.
"Yeah,
Dude.
who are you?"
Why are you calling me?
Yeah.
He's like, hang up the
up.
phone, like, "Fuck
So-
you,
but that's
don't
sca-
call me again." I'm like,
That's
"Whoa,
scary
bro."
shit, though. Think about with
And it
everyone.
was funny
with everyone
because I didn't really know, and I remember like lighting this dude up in an email, like.
But
what are you
You
doing?
didn't
Like-
realize he was a flat lister,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
thought he was an
he's
actual
like-
agent.
And they like explained it. Like,
yeah,
I actually
yeah.
don't do anything.
I
he
just
like
put
told
it
me
up.
what he does, and
yeah.
I was like, why would someone pay for that?
Yeah.
He's like, actually, all I do is list the house on the MLS. They provide me the pictures, and then I don't do anything.
Yeah,
And
get a
they
check
give you
off, yeah.
$500.
Yeah.
That makes
whatever it
sense.
is,
Why
yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
complete
Don't
douche.
give a shit.
Genius
Yeah.
for him. It's so stupid
guess.
for a seller.
That's scary as shit, though. If you think about
Yeah,
how
the
much
sellers are
conversation there
nightmares.
is about the real estate agent going away, right?
Yeah.
And getting automated, but the Zillow homes or flat listers are getting more and more commissions going down. Think about how shitty it's going to be to do a purchase deal on in any as a buyer, as a seller, as a loan officer. When all the agents are gone and you're dealing with dumbasses like that, or you're dealing with
Yeah.
a for sale by owner guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't
sounds
imagine.
brutal.
I can't imagine it would completely go away. I think if you're going to be selling real estate, honestly, with any business probably, but you have to be open to the idea like, hey, shit's going to change. Like, just don't think that things are going to be one way forever.
Right.
Just be open to the idea. I mean, we're seeing things now where you really don't even have to go to a house to see it. I mean, you can go view a house online. If they're doing the 3D Matterport stuff, you can walk through every single room.
Still not
from
the
your.
same, though.
It's not the same, but you can write an offer if you want it bad and say, hey, contingent on me doing a walkthrough of the house and making sure because they've seen everything. You know, I mean, we live in a time where that's possible. But getting rid of the agent completely it would be pretty tough.
Things will change. They're going to
Absolutely.
evolve. They always
100%.
evolve. It's not the same as it was 10 years ago. It's not going to be the same as. And if you are open to the evolution
Yeah.
and looking at how to embrace it and use it within your business, those are the people that will sucide. The people that try to fight it and say, I'm just going to do it my way. But those people will
Back to the
yeah.
basics.
That's my old man voice, I guess, in my head, like old
Southern.
grumpy man. Yeah. So all right,
That's pretty good.
you like that?
like
We're gonna do our 3 questions. Last time you were on the show, we didn't do this, so we do this on every show.
Okay.
First question is always the same. What scares Ryan?
Oh, my biggest fear? Easy.
Yeah.
Not living up to my full potential.
All right, that's good.
That's a boring one, I know,
No,
but
no, it's
that's
good.
what scares
No.
the shit out of me, dude. Like if I
How
know
high-
I can do better, I will. Like I'm very hard on myself, but I feel like I can always do better.
So you believe you have high potential?
I think everybody does. Everybody has so much potential, but they
Not
don't.
everybody believes it.
Exactly. Well, yeah, it comes down to mindset. 100% comes down to mindset. I can look at a person and get frustrated with them because they don't see how much potential they have.
Yeah.
But I know it's there. I mean, every single one of us in this room can accomplish huge, amazing things.
Right.
But it's
You have
not
to
living up
believe
to
it.
that. Yeah, you have to believe it. You have to see that it's possible. You have to be able to visualize it. But yeah, for me anyway, like that's what scares me is living this life, not knowing when I'm going to go, and not taking advantage of the potential I do have. And I mean, there's so much bigger things I'd be doing right now that I'm not, and so like that kills me. But that's what scares me.
It's kind of a fucked up fear because
Yeah.
not living up to your full potential. How do you know what your full potential is?
Dude, and that's the fucked
That's
up.
like-
It's
yeah,
super
like
fucked
chasing
up,
it,
right?
chasing
Here's
It
the
is.
thing: is that he's keeping that going, and it doesn't matter because I think that potential.
That
Exactly.
fear
If
will
it's a
drive
meter,
it.
It's the-
Yeah.
it's the
It keeps
driver,
going.
right?
It
Yeah.
keeps
As you-
the ceilings
It's that healthy
keep going
anxiety
up
we
and
talk
up and
about.
up.
When
right?
you think like that, when you do hit your potential, you realize you didn't hit your potential.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's
yeah.
that's
There's
so
people.
That's
who,
what I'm saying. I like it.
I get
Yeah. It's
super
fucked up.
frustrated
No,
when
it
I'm
is
working
fucked
with
up.
someone or have someone that works for us that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, you could be a
okay,
killer.
right? Yeah.
You could. You're complaining about like being short on your bills when I can see you
Not working.
having no bills,
Watching
ever,
ESPN
like no
on your
mortgage.
fucking laptop.
It happens all the time. All right.
dude. Yeah, it is a messed up one though because it'll stress you out. It's not healthy to an extent. I mean,
It is to an
I'm the
extent,
same
though,
way.
too.
It'll drive you nuts, but at the same time, that healthy anxiety, I think, is healthy.
but look at some of the world's biggest entrepreneurs and business owners. They probably have a similar mindset. I'd imagine. Like,
Do
they're
you think
probably,
Bezos thinks he's reached his potential? He wants to colonize the moon, dude.
Yeah, no, fuck no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, but then you also
You probably- I mean,
reward
you could just
yourself
buy
a
the
little
moon.
bit, right? Go to Europe.
Oh, yeah,
see
yeah.
the world like that.
Yeah.
You got to do that.
Yeah.
No, there's got to be balance. All right, next question. If you were on a deserted island by yourself, what would be the one item you'd want with you?
Item. Not
How long?
human.
How long am I on the island for?
Item. You're on I don't know. You're on a deserted
So
island.
you can figure out how to get off.
You either get off or like live there. I don't know. Figure
off
it
the
out.
island.
What do you want with you?
Dude, I don't know. Like, it'd be practical. I'm boring, dude. It'd be like a knife or something.
I wouldn't want a hatchet or something.
Yeah,
right?
fuck. Go back to the book. Yeah, hatchet.
Yeah.
I'll do a hatchet.
Somebody once said, "I want a house."
What a badass house.
Which is,
Yeah.
I'd want that. But no, like I would want like something practical, like a hatchet. You guys ever read the book The Hatchet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Like
for
everybody
sure.
has.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
required.
Yeah.
Or even if you can, like maybe GPS phone or something. I make a couple phone calls, get the fuck out of there.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
GPS phone would probably be a
Yeah.
better one.
yeah.
If you were on an island and you couldn't leave, I think.
If you had to stay there,
If you had to stay the hatchet for sure, then
a hatchet.
maybe
So-
like a big multi-tool, you know?
Yeah, like a big multi
Like
hatchet.
that
I have
shitty
one.
Bear Grylls one that they sell at Walmart.
Yeah.
I have like a multi-tool hatchet where like the handle has like a knife blade in it, and like you can unlock it and detach it.
Oh,
take the
yeah.
hatchet off, and it's a hammer, a hatchet, a knife.
Yep, I would want
saw.
that.
I'd want a lighter, man.
A
I'd want
lighter,
that.
Because
yeah.
making fire is
It has
not
flint.
easy.
It has flint in
yeah,
it
he's
too.
probably got flint on
Yeah.
there, yeah.
You guys ever play Goldeneye?
Yeah,
I mean,
oh, yeah.
way back
slappers
in the
only.
day.
I
Yeah.
want the fucking Moonraker, dude.
Oh yeah,
Oh, bro.
I could, kill animals, start fires.
Pretty sick. Yeah.
Pretty
you know.
good. That's
Not that I
pretty
want to kill animals, but you got to eat.
Well, yeah,
That's
if you're
pretty
hungry,
good.
you will.
Last question.
All right, which one should we do? Let's do if you could spend a week in somebody else's body, who would it be and why?
Oh, God, like in their body? Like,
Yeah.
or
Have
just in
all
their
the-
life?
In their body,
I think
in their
you should
life.
switch
like,
that to
you would
in their
be them.
shoes.
Yeah, like in their
Because in their
shoes.
body's weird.
But
It's
you
a
have
weird
to be
one.
in their body to have
When
their
you say it, like
experiences.
in their shoes.
No, in their body.
You're in their body having
You
their
ever seen
experiences.
Being
with
John
your mind.
Malkovich?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like that. I want you in somebody's body.
Which could also change the question because you'd be like, man, I just want to feel what this body looks like.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
you're
know.
sick.
God. What was the question again?
If you could be in somebody's body for a week, who would it be?
Dude, I don't know. I've not really thought about that, to be honest with you. Somebody rich and powerful. I don't know.
It could be past or present.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know.
I'd want to like do like Einstein just to see like the way he thought.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it'd be
fuck
your
that.
brain, so you'd just be like
Maybe
a
give
useless
Einstein
old
shit,
man.
dude.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You're
I'd
right.
want to be like
Yeah, you're right.
like a high level athlete, like LeBron James or something, just like being able to jump like fucking crazy.
You want to
and,
be a
like,
superhuman.
Yeah, like dude, how sweet it'd be to be like, yeah, I'm Tom
Sal
Brady.
just wants to be healthy
Like,
for a week.
You know? Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, imagine just waking up and you're like, wow, I'm like tip
I
top
feel
physical
good.
shape.
Yeah.
I'm married to Giselle. I
Yeah.
can throw a football.
Tom
like,
Brady's a specimen, dude. Jesus
Yeah.
I can
Christ.
throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
Yeah.
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 All right, that's our show, man. Hey, dude, thank you for doing the show.
Oh, thanks for having me,
I
man.
appreciate
Yo,
it.
I'm going to have you guys on mine.
Yeah.
Are we not going to get an
We're-
answer on that last one?
Dude,
Oh yeah, we never got one, did we?
dude, I really don't have one. I'm uncomfortable with this question. I don't know, dude.
All right, we'll
I'll
table
text it to you. Yeah, we'll table that for
it.
next time, yeah.
Tell the audience how they can get a hold of you, dude.
Well, the first thing you do is call me on my cell phone. I guess I'll go through the number. If you just put it on the notes or just I'll just read it out to you. It's 248-408-7951. Call or text me anytime. And then hit me up on Instagram, man. I'm really active on Instagram. I always refer people to go there, get an idea of who I am before we even meet, because I put a lot of my personality on there.
Yeah, and I know you had the group over. Did you want to? If people want to join, can they be part
so,
of that?
Okay, yeah. So, all right. So first off, Instagram. If you want to get me on there, pretty much any social media is Ryan Lane Realtor. Pretty easy.
Got it.
And then yes, if you consider yourself an entrepreneur, big thinker, salesperson, whatever, somebody just wants to do bigger in life, and you want to be associate with others who think like you, because for me the problem was when I made that group was I couldn't tell my goals to quote unquote normal people or have these discussions because they thought you were fucking crazy. Like, why wouldn't you be comfortable with
They don't
where
think
you're
like
at?
you, right.
Dude, they don't want more. So I wanted to, like I said, bring people together who want more out of life, who want to just like conquer the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so in June, started doing these monthly meetups, first Monday of every month. And yeah, man, I mean, just the people I have met through this group is just insane. I was just so humbled that so many people wanted to be part of something like this,
Yeah.
and it's really taking off right now. But yeah, so if you're somebody who, and I put this stuff on my Instagram all the time, you'll get more information there. But we do these monthly meetups. Like I said, if you're a big thinker, you want to do a lot, you got big goals, come check us out, hang out with us. It's very casual. It's not a networking event.
The biggest thing I noticed about it is it wasn't. A lot of these networking events are pretty douchey.
I fucking hate those.
Yeah,
I did not want that. That
Yeah.
was the first rule. It's not a networking event. It happens naturally, bro.
Yes.
Like, you don't need to make a thing of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, my name's Bob. Here's my card.
Yeah. Fuck that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for listening. We are. Do you know what show number this is?
I don't know.
I don't know.
man.
We'll have to figure that out. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Please reach out to us on irepodcast.com. Go to Podcast Detroit. We're on Stitcher. We're on What are we on? What else are we on?
Are we
Spotify,
on Instagram?
iTunes. We're on everything.
I would
So,
guess probably in the 80s.
yeah, we'll have to check that out. So, guys, thank you for listening. Hit us up if you have any questions. Bye.
You've been